I want to introduce my next speaker. This is a guy that goes by the name Joshua Elder. Any of you recognize that name in the room? Just curious? Okay, awesome. He's going to blow you away with some really cool stuff, and he's got an amazing story, because this was the gentleman that I told you about earlier on. He was one of my first ever coaching students. This was about three years ago, maybe even longer than that. And he joined one of my first coaching programs. And I remember us having Skype calls. I remember helping him get to a point where he was about to quit his job. And he was nervous at that point. He was like, man, I don't know if I can. I said, look, I promise you, with the stuff that we're putting in place, what's working, this is the right decision for you. So long story short, he did quit his job at the jewelers, and he's just gone on and rocketed in this industry, and he's built multiple six-figure companies and businesses, and he's consulting for some of the biggest marketers in the world when it comes to the YouTube stuff. And he was my first ever student of the YouTube, right? Who's TTM again? Just curious. All right, he's the first ever customer of Two Traffic Mastery and that training, and he's just rocketed with it. So I said, I saved myself some breath, and I can go back and sit backstage with a cocktail, and you can deliver the YouTube stuff instead. So I'm bringing him on stage, and he is going to just blow your socks off when it comes to free traffic from YouTube. Tom covered the paid stuff. Now Josh is going to cover the free stuff, and it works just as well. So without further ado, please welcome to stage Mr. Joshua Elder.
I got the eye of the tiger, fire, dancing through the fire, 'cause I am a champion.
How's everybody doing? Loving England? This is actually my first time ever in England, and I gotta say, I absolutely love it. Of course, the streets are a little bit more narrow. The buildings, of course, are a little bit more beautiful than back in the States, and I'm just excited, to be able to tour around England and just enjoy the sights and the sounds and the smells and all that good stuff. So in this presentation, I'm going to show you how to attract free premium leads with YouTube. I'd like to know, by a show of hands, how many people are actually leveraging YouTube to build and grow their business right now? Okay, we got quite a few people. Awesome. Hopefully I can help you take your businesses to the next level, and those of you that aren't leveraging YouTube marketing, hopefully I can help those of you too as well. So I know one of the biggest fears, especially for me when I first got started with video, was just being on video. So I coined this presentation, how to attract free premium leads with YouTube, even if you've never shot a video in your life. So I want to show you that it is possible. 5 short years ago, I started YouTube marketing, and I just persisted and persisted and persisted. I've got hundreds of videos now ranked up there on YouTube search engine. And I gotta say, the first time that I did it, I was in my parents' basement. The lighting was terrible, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen those old videos. And I leave them up to inspire people, but they still bring me income today. Videos that I shot years and years and years ago. So there's so much leverage when it comes to YouTube marketing. And I want to show you guys really what you're capable of doing with this specific platform. I want to start off by just telling you a little bit about my history, my story. Back in 2006, that's when I really started my online journey. I went off to college to play baseball, and during that time, and primarily I was actually just in college just because, my friends were going to college, my family wanted me to go to college. I was a good athlete, so I figured that, I got recruited by a school in southern Utah and to play college baseball and pitch there, and it was awesome. It was great, but I didn't know what I was going to go into. I was thinking business degree, do I go into physics? What do I want to do with my life? And during that time, I started studying online marketing. I got into the online marketing world, and I started doing research on the internet, just like a lot of you guys probably have. How to start your blog, how to grow your business on YouTube, how to set up a Facebook ad. Of course, Facebook really wasn't that popular back then. It was just kind of getting started out. But that's kind of began my series of doing just a lot of research on learning how to market on the internet. By 2008, I finally just made the decision. I got bold and said, I'm just going to jump in head first, and I'm going to learn this game. I'm going to learn how to build an income on the internet. So I decided to take a risk, drop out of college. My parents weren't happy. My friends were like, what the hell are you doing? But I saw the possibility of growing a business on the internet, and I saw the leverage. And so I didn't listen to the naysayers. I didn't listen to anybody. I just focused, put my head down, and I just started studying. Of course, it wasn't that easy to be successful at the time because, like today, back then, there's so much overwhelm in the online marketing space. You got so many gurus promoting their products, saying that their stuff is the best thing, And I was super overwhelmed, and I ended up struggling for 5 years trying to figure this thing out. And then in 2012, I decided to focus on one thing, and that one thing was YouTube, Google SEO. So beginning of 2012, I started creating these websites. I would create all these individual mini websites. I'd write the articles, I'd create all the pages, and I'd upload about a website every single day. And I got to the point in about 90 days, I had about 70 to 80 websites that were ranked at the very top of the search engines. And I was making to about $80 to $100 a day. I was like, this is pretty cool. You know, I'm making some money. I'm going to be able to quit my job. Awesome, because I was working at a jewelry store at the time. I decided to drop out, obviously get a job at a jewelry store and use that to fund my online business. So I had a lot of success with that, but I literally overnight, April 2012, completely lost my rankings. And again, I was back to square zero. What am I going to do? What am I going to turn to? And so do I either go back and be okay with my job, or do I continue to pursue this? And I was fortunate enough, November 2012, to come across John Pemberthy. He had some free YouTube training, and he was basically saying, you know, I've implemented this training, and I'm making right around $500 to $1,000 a day. I'm like, I'm sitting here at 25 years old, struggling, and this teenager is making money online. I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong, right? So I plugged into his training, started learning from him, and literally 4 months later, I started having massive success. He said, Josh, just focus on one thing, focus on YouTube marketing, and just go all in. And that's exactly what I did. So since learning his strategies, I've been able to rank hundreds of websites, the top of Google. I've been able to build a list of over 35,000 people, targeted people online, and I've even helped one company generate over $1.4 million just in the past 12 months. So pretty cool stuff there. This is just some kind of examples of my income. This isn't to brag or to boast, but just to show you guys the progress that I've made using and leveraging 100% free traffic from YouTube. Now, of course, nothing's free. You got to put in the work. But I believe, in my opinion, that there's nothing that has more leverage than YouTube traffic, right? And I'm going to show you some examples of some videos I have that have been ranking for years. So May 2013, had my first $1,000 day online. In the end of 2013, I had my first $5,000 month. And in 2014, I generated nearly $10,000 in 1 month. And then by 2015, I did over $12,000 in one single month, and it was game over. Finally quit my job and went to do this full time. So this is actually a photo that's very, very memorable and near and dear to my heart, because this is the first time I spoke on stage ever. And John pulled me up at one of our events for the last 10 minutes and allowed me to get on stage and tell my story. So this is pretty cool. So I'm going to show you this formula, and you're not going to have to spend a dime on paid advertising. I think this is great to supplement with paid ads, especially YouTube ads or Facebook ads. So let's go ahead and get into why video and why YouTube. According to Cisco, by 2019, 80% of the world's internet traffic is going to be video, right? Marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. So if you're not leveraging video right now, I guarantee you that you will get left in the dust. I mean, that's some real information right there. 49% faster than non-video users, right? So you're able to build that know, like, and trust instantaneously on the front end. That's what I love about YouTube, is that you're able to engage people from the start. They're able to see your personality, your mannerisms. They're able to engage with you and really get to know you. I know many of you came to this event because of video that John or somebody else put out, right? And you feel like you know him because you guys have built a connection online, right? So YouTube's also the second most trafficked website on the internet. And what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you not only how to rank in YouTube search engine, but also how to rank in Google search engine too as well. So you can actually kill two birds with one stone here. So the number one traffic website on the internet and number two traffic website on the internet. If you haven't noticed, especially when you type in, for example, let's say you own a cleaning business in somewhere in London, Heathrow maybe, right? And somebody types in, cleaning business or cleaning company, London, Heathrow, right? You'll notice for a lot of these search terms, especially local search terms, and even other general search terms, there's videos ranking in the top 10 of Google as well. So I'm going to cover a lot of that during this presentation. So I want you to imagine for a minute, giving your potential client exactly what they want as they're searching for it. So think of the problems that your target market is having. Think of what they would type into the search engine to find you, right? One of the cool things about YouTube is the fact that all their attention is focused. It's focused on typing that search query in and solving their problem instantly. And that's what I love about this versus Facebook. Facebook's great, but they're scrolling the news feed, they're checking out what their family, their friends are doing. What I love about YouTube is they are engaged. They're looking for a solution and they have a problem. I still use YouTube every single day. Whether I need to learn how to tie a tie or I need to learn how to shave my beard a certain way, right? We're all searching in YouTube. We're using the search engines to solve our problems, and we want our problems solved faster. And there's a larger percent of people viewing video versus viewing, like a blog or another article online. People want their information faster. So what I want to do is I want to show you just some of my rankings. So I can show you that I practice what I preach, of course. So you'll notice that not all my videos rank at the top. And this video, if you look at the bottom, I believe this video was uploaded 2 years ago, and it's got over 32,000 views. That's just one video out of hundreds that I have uploaded to YouTube, targeting different specific search phrases that people are typing into YouTube. You can also see this other video over here. It's ranked number 4. Then we got another one on the left-hand side, ranked number 3. And then this one, actually quite hilarious. That's back in the day in my parents' basement, roughly 3 years ago. So you guys can see I'm not lying. Really dark background. I was actually using my web camera for this. And I'm still ranked number 3 after 3 years later for that crappy video. So you don't have to be perfect on video to be successful. Also, you'll notice in Google, I'm ranking 2 at the top. So I did omit my, my search query. Hopefully you guys can respect that so you don't steal my keywords. But this just goes to show you that what I teach and what I do, in fact, does work. So let me give you a few different examples. And what I did is I actually went to the Facebook group because I don't know a lot of you, and I found out what industries you're in. And I want to do my best to show those industries like in a live example right here for you. So how many of you are in the fitness industry? Anybody out there in the fitness industry? Okay, cool, awesome. So this is a perfect example. Let's say that there's a woman, she's engaged, and she's about to get married, and she needs to lose that last 10 pounds of stubborn belly fat in the next 2 weeks. So what does she do? She goes to Google, she goes to YouTube, she types in how to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And if you notice at the very top, that video has over 84,000 views. The second video has 407,000 views. The third video has 398,000 views. And the fourth video has 29,000 views. So picture that being your video, providing value to that customer, and getting that customer from your video to a link in the description of your video and over to your website and straight into your funnel. How valuable, just one video, one specific keyword generating over 400,000 views. Pretty powerful, right? Here's another video, or another keyword term, how to stop snoring naturally, right? I know there's somebody in here that's in the snore. There you go. So check out this video at the top. 346,000 views. The second one is 136,000 views. So if you take that number 1 spot, which I'm going to show you how to do today, that could be an extra if you just take half of those views, even a small percentage. Let's be conservative and say like 10, 20%. 20,000 people clicking the link in the description to go to your website. That's pretty powerful stuff just off of one video. Here's one more example. I actually could have used one of these when I was on the airplane. I got no sleep whatsoever. But travel pillows for airplanes. If you look at the second result, it's got 1.6 million targeted views. I mean, that's super powerful. I mean, if you're selling a physical product and you're ranking number 2, I mean, that's a lot of traffic to your video and, you know, to your brand and to your website. Here's one last but not least. I think you guys get the point. Improve vision without glasses. Another kind of odd niche, but there's buyers in there. Obviously, if you look at the top 4 here, we've got 500,000 views on the first one, right around 200,000 views on the second one. So what I'm going to do for you now that you see what YouTube can provide for you and your business, I'm going to break this down to a 3-step process. Get straight into the content. So number 1 is keyword research, right? We want to know what people are typing in the search engines in YouTube so we can give them what they want. What most people do is they create a great video, high production, they spend thousands of dollars on it, they put it up on YouTube, and there's crickets. It gets no traffic because they're not optimizing their title, their description, their tags correctly. So I'm going to show you how to optimize correctly so you get traffic to your video. Number 2 is video creation. I'm going to show you how to structure and create your video by providing value very quickly and then sending people to your website, because that's the whole purpose of this. You have 2 different types of videos. You have one video that will give value to people, right? Just pure value based. You get them to like, maybe subscribe, maybe comment, not to necessarily click. And then you have videos that are specifically for generating traffic. And the sweet spot for those videos is right around 2 minutes or so, okay? So you got to think about it. What am I trying to accomplish with my video at the end of the day? Am I trying to get clicks? Am I trying to get subscribers? Am I trying to get engagement? What's the overall goal here? Then we're going to cover uploading and optimization, right? Uploading your video and optimizing it correctly. So step 1 is researching your market. We want to discover words or phrases that people are actively typing into Google and YouTube on a monthly basis. Right? This is also known as keyword research. I like to describe keyword research as much of an art. You know, it's taken me a few years to really grasp keyword research because there's so many, it's all about brainstorming. There's so many different angles that you can take to brainstorm and really think about your target customer. How old are they? What do they like? What do they dislike? What do they do? What are they thinking when they're brushing their teeth in the morning, right? What are they thinking when they sit down at their computer and type in a specific keyword phrase? What is your target customer doing, right? And what I'll do is I'll run through this like once a week, twice a week. I'll use specific tools, keyword tools, and I'll brainstorm all the possible potential search phrases or keywords that somebody would be typing in to Google and YouTube. Is this making sense so far? Cool, awesome. So what is a keyword? A keyword is a word or phrase that's typed in the search engine, just like I said. Here's an example of what would be a long tail keyword, and I'll get into that a little bit later. You got best eye wrinkle cream reviews, and then you also have how to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. So there's just an example of keywords, right? I use the Google Keyword Planner. I know there's more other complicated keyword tools out there, but I like to keep things simple, right? So if you go to adwords.google.com, you can get access to the Google Keyword Planner. And what you're going to notice in this specific example is I obviously went to the Google Keyword Planner. And by the way, you can sign up to AdWords for free to use a Google Keyword Planner if you want accurate results. I'm actually signed out right here. You can still get access to it, but it's going to give you rough data, like it'll show you a certain range of search terms a phrase gets. But if you want more accurate data, they'll have you create an account. They'll have you set up an ad. They'll make you enter your credit card information because this specific tool is supposed to be used for their paid advertising platform. I'll typically just create an ad and pause it or delete it after I'm done. But in this example, you'll notice that I just typed in lose weight. You want to start with a very broad keyword within your niche so you can get lots of different search results. So I typed in lose weight, and you can do your targeting, whether it's United States, UK, Canada, etc. And then you can scroll down and click Get Ideas. When I click Get Ideas, you'll notice it'll give me roughly the search volume for lose weight, as well as other keywords that are related to it. Now, this probably isn't the best example because it's not long tail, because basically the keywords lose weight. That doesn't really give you enough data. Is it male, female? Is there a certain type of diet maybe that they're looking to get into? They don't know yet. They're still at the beginning phase of their search. So think about it. When somebody types in lose weight, or when somebody types in, plasma or HD TVs, right? They're still at the beginning. They haven't found a Sony TV. Maybe they went to the store, they found a Sony TV, and they found a specific model, and they go back home and they type in the model number. Now they're at a place where they're in a buying state. They're just probably looking for the best price. Same thing here. They're just typing in lose weight. They haven't found a specific diet or a specific product or service yet. They're still kind of just in the research phase, right? So you've got the main keyword, then you've got other relevant keywords here too as well that are related to that primary keyword. So let me kind of show you step by step how this works. So you'll notice that I typed in how to stop snoring, and I just have my targeting as United States, and you select get ideas, and you'll notice that I get other relevant keywords that are related to how to stop snoring. So for example, for you that's in the snoring niche, anti-snoring devices, they're looking for a physical product, right? You got cure for snoring, you got how to prevent snoring, snoring remedies, snoring ads, snoring solutions, and these specific keyword terms have an average monthly search volume of anywhere between 1,000 to 40,000 searches per month. Pretty amazing stuff. Now what you want to do is you want to filter out your keywords and you want to find buyer keywords. So you want to avoid free keywords. Any keyword with the word free in it, you want to make sure that you avoid. You want to go for buyer keywords. So any keyword that represents a product, a service, a brand, maybe it's a review, that would be considered a buyer keyword. You also want to start, especially if you're new to ranking videos, I would start with right around 100 searches or more, okay? Start there, and then you can sort of work your way up. As you gain more confidence in ranking videos, you can go for more competitive keyword terms. So here's 6 tips to finding the perfect buyer keyword. So number 1, you want to make sure the keyword is long tail. You want to make sure there's at least 5 keywords or more in the keyword phrase. So if I just had, obviously, lose weight, that's very short tail, right? There's only 2 keywords. But if I had how to lose weight in my belly, or how to lose 10 pounds of belly fat in 2 weeks, that's super long tail and targeted. The more long tail, the more targeted it is, and the more targeted it is, the better buyer you're going to get, and also the more long tail it is, the easier it's actually going to rank in the search engines. So I call these low-hanging fruit keywords, long tail keywords, because these are going to be a lot easier to rank for, and a lot of people aren't willing to do the extra keyword research to find these specific keywords. You also want to catch them at the end of the search, which I covered, and is there pain in the market? Are they at a point where they're in a buying state? And of course, avoid free keywords, go for review keywords, and is your product is your product or service a solution to the specific keyword? So you want to identify that. You want to make sure that it's congruent with your offer. So let me show you real quickly how to find more keyword ideas. So what I'll do is we started with how to stop snoring, right? I believe, and we got other search results right here. We got how to stop snoring, and it tells you the exact monthly search volume for that keyword. And then we have other relevant keywords to that keyword, right? So we got stop snoring, snoring solutions, snoring aids, snoring remedies, right? So what I'll do is I'll take one of those keywords that are in the relevant keywords category. I'll take that and I'll plug it right back into the Google Keyword Planner. And as you can see on the right-hand side here, it actually gives us even more keywords that we can optimize for, create separate videos around, and rank for at the top of YouTube and Google. So as we keep doing this, we can find more and more keywords within our niche. Here's another idea too. You can use YouTube Instant Search. Are you guys familiar with YouTube Instant Search? Anybody? Okay, cool. So you'll notice when you start typing in a keyword into YouTube Instant Search, it will actually pull up the keywords that people are typing in that have to do with intermittent fasting. So as I'm typing in intermittent fasting, it's basically telling me what the market wants. Intermittent fasting before and after, intermittent fasting transformation, intermittent fast and vegan, so on and so forth. So these are other keywords that we can write down and create videos around these specific keywords. Pretty cool stuff. So here's what I would do, is I would compile a list of 5 to 10 keywords to start, right? So go through what I just showed you, rinse and repeat, get 5 to 10 keywords, and then we want to check our competition on YouTube. We want to find out how difficult it is to rank at the top of YouTube search engine. So here's a little code that I use. I type into the top of YouTube, all in title, colon, and then open quotations, my keyword, and then close quotations. This will show me the competition for other videos that are optimizing for my main keyword. So you'll notice here that I typed in how to prevent snoring. There's only 20 other people that are competing for that keyword. I would say anything under 50 is it's going to be pretty easy for you to rank for. So what I would do is I would find 5 to 10 keywords that qualify throughout the whole entire process that are also long tail and that also fit this criteria as well. So you can start there. Once you start ranking for those specific keywords, you can start to go for more competitive keywords. And you can also rank for multiple keywords on one video. It's a little bit more advanced, but if you really dedicate yourself to this, this is something that you can definitely learn. Is this making sense still so far? Not too complicated? Cool. So step 2, you now want to create your video, right? What I like to always do in a lot of my videos, especially if I'm generating traffic, right? A lot of videos can take a lot of work in creating content and coming up with new ideas. But what I'll do, especially like I'll take one channel and use that one channel or multiple channels just for traffic generation strategies. So you'll find me repeating myself in a lot of these different channels. But what I do is I tell my story and then I tie my story into the specific keyword. Kind of like what Tom was talking about in last presentation. You know, Frank Kern does a great job of tying his story into what he's offering. So what I would do is I would write down, obviously do a timeline, put a line, a horizontal line down the center of a piece of paper, and then write down, brainstorm, you know, the biggest sort of parts of your life, different things that took place that made an impact on you, or that were like transformational, or that changed something in your business. So that's what I did from 2004 to 2014. I wrote down a timeline, took some bullet points, and then I told my story based off of that, and I practiced it, and then I sort of just tied it into my keyword. So at the end of the day, of course, we've heard facts tell, stories sell. So as you do this, you'll begin to tell your story, tie your keyword into it, have a call to action. You're pretty much automatically selling without selling. So here's how you want to structure your videos. What I'll do is I will first open with a call to action, and I'll kind of go through this with you live. So I'll mention my website or brand name, and then I'll talk about my 3 main bullet points. This is like where my content is. This is where I talk about my content. And I tell my story. I use market language and terminology that my market would understand. Talk about my beliefs, my vision, create trust, and overcome market skepticism. And then I'll do a closed call to action. So I'll give them what they want, and I'll give them what I want at the end. So basically what I'll do is when I create a video, I'll say, hey, this is Joshua Elder from mywebsite.com, and you're here because you're looking for whatever the keyword is, right? And then I'll move into my content, and then I'll close, or sometimes in the middle of my content, I'll say, hey, if you're interested in learning the 10 tips, the 10 things you need to know to intermittent fast the right way, I've got a free ebook for you. Just go ahead and click the link below, and you can check it out. And then I'll continue with my content, and then have another call to action at the very end, saying basically the same thing. So I'm giving people a chance to click the link in the description multiple times throughout my video. So here is a professional home studio that you can create pretty much for under 500 bucks. All you need is a smartphone or equivalent. That's all I've really used. And then a Rode lavalier mic, wireless mic, that's 80 bucks. And then a lighting kit. Here's a few different options. You can just get a couple light stands with some lights. I use the Neewer CN216 lights and a Cowboy Studio lighting kit or equivalent. You can also get a white backdrop, as you noticed in that Frank Kern video that Tom showed you. And then, of course, I will use iMovie editing software equivalent. All you really need to do with that editing software, especially if you're just creating basic traffic generation videos, is really iMovie or something equivalent. You just need to add maybe some text, maybe a few jump cuts, maybe you mess up and you got to cut something out, and that's pretty easy to do. You can learn how to do that just by Googling or YouTubing, you know, how to do a jump cut or how to edit a video, a basic video, and you can even outsource it. Number 5, a Manfrotto tripod. You can get one that's, you know, 30 bucks, and you can get all this stuff on Amazon.com. But that's my basic setup. That's all I really use. So now again, this is kind of gives you the video creation, the structure of my video. You want to keep a video 2 to 4 minutes. You know, 2 minutes is the sweet spot because you want to engage with people. Typically after 4 minutes, that's when people start to fall off your video. Based off of the statistics that YouTube gives us, unless your video has tons of quality content, they may watch it after 4 minutes. But I've noticed most videos that do rank at the top are in that sweet spot right around 4 minutes. So it doesn't really need to be longer than that. You'll notice that most of my videos are right around 2 to 4 minutes. I get people in, I let them know they're in the right place, I give them quality content, and then I have a call to action telling them to go to my website, right? So your environment as well. You know, if you're a chiropractor, you know, and you got your degree behind you, you know, maybe you got a poster of anatomy of a human being or something, you know, in the background, that's obviously going to position you instantly as an authority. So you want to make sure you pick a location that positions you as an authority in your marketplace. Don't pick your parents' basement like I did for so long. You also want to make sure the lighting is on point. Of course, obviously, you want to make sure that people can see you and all that good stuff. So now what we want to do is we want to move into uploading and optimizing your video. There are 2 main ways to optimize your video to improve rankings. You've got on-page SEO and you've got off-page SEO or off-page optimization and on-page optimization. For those of you that don't know what SEO is, it's just search engine optimization, the ability to rank websites and videos at the top of the search engine. So let's talk a little bit about on-page optimization. Since YouTube and Google, they don't have human reviewers that go and view your websites and your videos, because that would be tons of work because there's hundreds of thousands of content going up every single day. They've got an algorithm, or they've got little spiders and bots that will crawl your video to find out what your video is about. YouTube actually has a video recognition software where they can actually find out what you're saying in your video, but it's not as accurate as it could be quite yet. They're working on making it better, but that's one way that Google and YouTube can tell what your video is about. Obviously, your title, description, tags need to be optimized too as well, whatever keyword you're trying to rank for. And I'll show you some examples in just a second. You want that keyword in the title, right? Or some form of that keyword in the title. Whether it's a little separated or together. I would prefer keeping that keyword together in your description. Also your tags. You want to include your keyword in your tags, and you want to include your keyword in your file name. So here's a perfect example. You know, if my keyword, I'm starting out, you know, it's got 100 searches, how to become successful in life, right? So I've named the file name, how to become successful in life. And you can also include, you know, the other part of your title if you want to too as well. You know, if you're trying to rank for how to be successful in life, typically you don't just want your keyword to say how to be successful in life. You want to give them a reason to click. So have the keyword, but also tell them the solution or what they're going to get if they watch your video. Tip number 2, you want to write a description that represents a summary of your video. And again, this is something that you can outsource as well. You can have somebody on Fiverr.com actually go to your video. What they'll do is they'll summarize your whole entire video, plug it in your description, and they can even optimize it too as well for you for the keyword that you're wanting to rank for. So what we want to do is you want to include the keyword in the title. Like I said, you want to include the keyword in the description as well multiple times. I would recommend that you include your keyword at least 2 to 3 times per every 100 words. And again, Google Spiders are going to scan the page and find out what your video is about. So they're going to look at the title, the description, and the tags. And if they find out that all 3 of these, and the 4th one, of course, what you're saying, if they find that all 4 of these, you're actually including the keyword or saying the keyword, that's going to dramatically improve your rankings. So here's an example of how you want to structure your tags. There's a lot of people that will do what's called like tag stuffing or keyword stuffing, and they'll include, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. It still works to this day, but you want to be careful with that because a lot of times Google and YouTube can tell if you're over-optimizing for a specific keyword. So you want to be careful for that. So include your keyword as the first tag, and then typically what I'll do is I'll include what's called LSI or related keywords as my other keywords. So I've got one primary keyword, and then I got 3 other related keywords that relate to that primary keyword. And you can also put keywords here. Maybe you have different topics that you talk about in your video, and you can include those as your extra keywords. But you want to really hone in and focus on ranking for one specific keyword. So here's an example of good on-page SEO. Intermittent fasting meal plan to get leaned and ripped. So he's basically saying, hey, here's an intermittent fasting meal plan. If you watch it to the end, then it's going to help you get lean and ripped. So you'll notice at the top here, in the title, we've got intermittent fasting meal plan. Then in the description, we've got it about 4 times there, right? And then you look in the tags. And by the way, this video is ranked #1 at the top of YouTube. And here's kind of a cool little ninja strategy. You guys can write this down. This just came to my mind. You can use a software or an app. It's an online app called vidIQ. And that will actually, you can install it on your browser, and it will show you the tags that your competition is including within their tag area. So you can optimize your video for the similar title, description, and tags, and more than likely, if you provide more value in your video too as well, you can outrank that specific video. So obviously, like I said, what you say in your video has a huge, huge influence on your rankings. So make sure that within the first 5 to 8 seconds that you say your keyword. So, hey, this is Brad from sixpackshortcuts.com, and you're at this video because you want to learn how to do intermittent fasting the right way, right? And then go into your content, have a couple calls to action to get people to click your links, because that's the whole purpose why we're making these videos, right? We want people to click the link in the description of our video to go to our website, to go through our funnel, and buy our products and services. So we talked a little bit about on-page SEO. Now we have off-page SEO. A lot of SEO experts complicate this. I like to keep it very, very simple. Off-page SEO are just basically links going back to your site. So the more links that you have going back to your site or back to your video, the higher you're going to rank. Because this tells Google and it tells YouTube that, hey, people are interested in your content. People are liking your content. People are linking back from their blog to your video, which in turn tells YouTube and Google that your video is in fact of value. So all in all, a backlink is simply a link that goes from one site to another. So if you look in the center here, you've got your website or your video, and then around that, you've got links from other different websites. Now, I'll show you a resource at the end of this where you can actually have backlinks built for you, so you don't have to worry about doing the mundane task of going to somebody's blog and commenting and sending links manually to your video. Because at the end of the day, we want to focus on what we're good at and outsource the rest. So the more quality backlinks we have as well, it's not always about quantity, but quality. If we got a backlink from like CNN.com, we got a backlink from Huffington Post. Obviously, if somebody's going to post an article about our video, especially a site like that, it must be a good quality video. So if you can get somebody like that to publish a article about that video and send a link back to your video or your website, that will help you tremendously in your rankings. So here's some backlinking services that I use. One is Fiverr.com, and another one is Conquer. I actually really like Conquer because it's specialized towards SEOers and people that do YouTube SEO. As you can see, it's kind of small here, but you can see a red box around there. You can see YouTube SEO. It's really cool because what this service will do is it will send you backlinks. It will sort of create that viral effect on your videos too as well, because a lot of you are probably wondering, well, what if I want to go for a more competitive keyword? You know, to get traffic to it, right, it has to be ranked, right? And to rank it, you have to get traffic to it. So it's kind of a catch-22. So what Conquer will do is they'll send you different things like social signals, likes, comments, shares, because it's more so about the user engagement, the user experience more than anything. SEO still works very well with YouTube, but they're slowly starting to move more towards overall engagement. So if you can include in some of your videos, depending on what video it is, right? If you've got one channel and maybe you have one video where you just give pure value, right? Not all your videos on your channel need to be specifically for traffic generation. But what you can do on one of your videos is ask people to like, comment, subscribe, because as you get more subscribers to your channel, as you get more engagement, you'll easily rank for keywords, more keywords along the way. So YouTube is all about consistency. They obviously want you to stay on their platform. They want you uploading content daily. They want you to be consistent, right? Because they make more money. The video viewer has a better viewer experience, and you make the sell as well, so everybody's happy. So you can use both of these services. You can even have, if you want to have somebody else shoot your videos for you, you can even go to Fiverr.com and have somebody else, a professional, shoot your videos. What I would do is you can obviously go to different categories. You can go to online marketing and SEO, and then everything is sorted by review, like stars, just like Amazon.com reviews. So typically I will do gigs that have at least 1,000 views or 1,000 reviews and at least 4.5 or 5 stars. That way I know that that gig is in fact working. People are obviously buying it, so it's getting people results. So I want to give you a quick bonus here. So these are some other factors that will help you rank higher and give you an unfair advantage in ranking. A lot of YouTubers aren't doing this. I see so many people that are under monetizing. They've got a great channel, they've got great value, but they're not doing a lot of these things. So like I said, posting videos consistently, whether that's 1 time a week, it's 3 times a week, it's 5 times a week, set a schedule, let your viewers know what they can expect, and stick to that specific schedule. Also, YouTube live streams. As you know, Facebook is giving a lot of credit to people that do Facebook Lives. You notice them instantly at the top of the news feed. YouTube is very much the same. If you create a YouTube Live on intermittent fasting, I just use this example because I'm actually learning how to intermittent fast right now, so that's why I've been going through this process. So YouTube live stream, if you have a video on intermittent fasting and it's live streamed versus somebody else's, then you can actually outrank those videos that may be around longer by doing a live stream, because YouTube is crediting live streams very, very much. Also, social signals, likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions are huge. You can actually go to Conquer or Fiverr, and you can get somebody, and these are all unique likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions. Some of you might say, oh, maybe it's gaming the system a little bit. If you do it the right way, right, because what I did back in 2012 was I was thinking so short term. I was gaming the system, and a lot of SEOers do this. Once they learn this stuff, they'll just blast links, right, or they'll blast views to YouTube. That works right now, but it's only going to work for so long. So you'll see like one video at the top has 15,000 views and the next video has like 30, and you're like, what's going on? It's because a lot of these guys, they're actually buying views. So that's something that you can do. I would definitely be careful when you do it. And if you do it, make sure it's from a real provider providing you real quality views, because this will help you really get an unfair advantage and outrank the competition if you do it the right way. So you can actually buy likes, comments, shares, and you can also buy subscriptions. So you also want to keep your video on topic and engaging. As Tom said in the last presentation, you want to keep the viewer retention high. The higher you keep that viewer retention, obviously that's going to help your rankings too as well. At the end of the day, it's about viewer experience. So you want to create an eye-catching thumbnail as well, kind of like a billboard that you see on the side of a highway. Obviously those don't work as well, but that's a good example. You want something maybe at a border. You can use a website called canva.com to have a thumbnail created. Or again, you can outsource it. I'll outsource a lot of my thumbnails as well. But that will also help you stand out, especially in the top 10 to 14 of YouTube. So not everybody's just going to click on the first result. A lot of times they'll go and click on the result that obviously resonates with them the most. So the title of your video is crucial. It's like an ad. And as your click-through rate increases on that ad, the more people that you get to your video, even if you're ranked number 5 because you've got a great thumbnail, you've got a great title, you'll outrank a lot of those other videos that are at the top eventually. So definitely a long-term play when it comes to free traffic, but it's worth it, especially if you're running paid traffic, maybe you're finding things that aren't working in your campaigns. Free traffic from YouTube is a great backup. And I'm still getting leads today from videos I created years and years and years ago. Another thing that you can do is you can have captions created. Since YouTube's voice recognition software isn't the best, you can go to a website called rev.com and ensure that you have a caption created for your video. Most people aren't doing this. Typically, if you look at the top 10 to 14 of YouTube, you'll notice that people that have added manual captions, it'll say CC next to the video. So most videos don't have closed caption quite yet. So this is another way that you can tell YouTube more about your video and rank higher in the search engine. And then number 7, embed your video on other blogs. So there's gigs on Fiverr, there's gigs on Conquer, where they'll actually take your video, they'll embed it on other blogs. This will make it seem like your video is going viral, and it will help your video rank at the top of YouTube as well. So that's sort of my secret sauce that I'll use on a lot of my videos. So one more bonus I want to give you, you can actually get more traffic with suggested videos. I've actually got a channel that's 80% of the traffic is coming from, not from YouTube search, but YouTube suggested videos. If you look on the side here, you can see all the suggested videos right there. So what you can do is, for example, if you're in the weight loss or gain muscle, lose fat niche, whatever it may be, we can do a search, maybe a keyword that we want to rank for, and you'll notice that this Kino Body video is ranking for how to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. So what we can do is we can model that video, create something better that has more value, and optimize our video with this sort of not the same title, but something that's close to it, and then have the same tags. And what we'll do is we'll appear on the side of this video right here. There's a lot of people that are watching a video and then they go click to another video. So you'll notice like this video that's number 1, Athlete X, that has 2.1 million views. The second video there has 202,000 views. And I can tell you a lot of those views are not only coming from YouTube search engine, but they're coming from YouTube suggested videos section too as well. So that is another way that you can get more views to your video. Now, I hope that wasn't too much. Hope you guys got a lot of value from it. What I want to do, we got about 12 minutes left. I want to just do sort of a short Q&A. Do we have a mic around somewhere? You guys have any questions? Wait for the mic.
In terms of the backlinks, to what extent do you go? Are we talking about 10 backlinks, 100, and have you ever got penalized for using too many?
Yeah, I would start, I mean, of course it depends on your competition. There's tools that will tell you your competition, the backlinks that they have, but it's more about quality backlinks. If you can find a gig that's going to send you quality over quantity, and they'll typically tell you, then you can spend a little bit more money, $15, $20, $25, to get more high quality backlinks to your video. So that's what I would do, focus more on quality versus quantity. There's a lot of gigs that are like social bookmarks, like I'll send you 800 social bookmarks. You typically want to stay away from those. So just keep the quality there. What Google wants to see is that, of course, especially when it comes to SEOers and marketers, of course, marketers, we screw everything up because we're spamming the internet. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that it appears natural, right? So what would Google want? What appears natural to them?
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm just wondering if you could offer some tips as to when you're recording, what you're doing in terms of eye contact, expressions, etc.
Sure, what I'll do is, first off, you want to think about the customer, right? You want to think about your target market and what they're thinking, what their problem is. And what a lot of people do is when they're shooting a video, they're self-critical and they're thinking more about themselves than the customer, because at the end of the day, it's about them. So what I would do is, of course, if you're using an iPhone or if you're using a camera, you want to look directly into the camera, right? And you want to talk directly into it, as if you're talking like to your friend at a coffee shop. That's usually, to get in that mindset, what I'll do is I'll get myself in state. I'll imagine I'm just talking to one of my buddies, right? And I'll pull up the camera and I'll speak like I'm just talking to a friend. So there's two ways, too, that you can create videos. There's documenting and then there's creating, right? Creating has more structure, it has an outline. What I would do, especially depending on what industry you're in, you can actually document the journey, right? And that actually helps build your brand. So, if you're, for example, you're doing a new diet, maybe it's a cleanse or something, maybe you document that whole day of what you're doing. So, and you can jump cut from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to the gym and when you go home at night. So that's what I do. At the end of the day, it's not about you, it's about the customer, because I used to be so much of a perfectionist, thinking about, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? It's more about your target customer. So hope that helps. Yep.
Would you mind explaining a bit more about the captioning on your YouTube? Because I've got a YouTube channel.
Sure. Yeah, if you go to the settings area, I wish I had a slide on this. If you go to the settings area in your YouTube account and go to the Creator Studio, there's a tab that says Captions, and you can actually have what's called an SRT, document created, by rev.com. So you go to rev.com and you'll pay $1 per minute of video, and they'll send you back the caption. You can review it and then upload it straight to the captions area in the YouTube Creator Studio. Does that make sense?
Brilliant. And will the slides be available for us?
What's that?
Will the slides be available for us?
Oh, sure, definitely, yeah. I could do that. Mm-hmm. I know we had two over here that have been waiting for a bit.
Hi, thanks. I was wondering, using Fiverr, it works great for English markets, but I'm mainly focused on the Netherlands. Do you think it would work for them? Because they would probably post on English websites. Does that affect it in any way?
Yeah, you want to make sure, of course, the sites they're posting on is obviously native to your language, and you want it to be relevant to your niche too as well. So there's a lot of gigs that will specifically post on a niche site that relates to your niche too as well. So you just have to do a little bit more research to find those specific gigs. It takes a little bit of work, but you can definitely find them. So, over here.
Hi, with what you know now about video creation and YouTube, if you were to do something brand new tomorrow, a new video, what would you do? So I guess as a new starter, but with the knowledge you've got now.
With the knowledge I got now, I would probably focus more, obviously, on production, making the quality of my videos better, content, really spend some time structuring out your content. So what I'll do now is I'll spend one full day, and that will be like my content day where I'll create my content. I'll write down what I want to talk about, my outlines, I'll do my keyword research, and the next day I'll spend half of the day creating my videos, right? Whether it's 5 videos or 10 videos, and then I can schedule those out for the full entire week. So that's what I would do differently, because what I used to do is just create videos every single day, and from time management perspective, that wasn't the best. So just sort of having a schedule. This is the day that I'm going to create my content, brainstorm keyword research. This is the day I'm going to create, and I'm going to upload my content, take care of the post-video production, all that stuff. So there's outsourcers that you can obviously get, and I'm sure if this hasn't been brought up already, it will. You can go to guru.com or upwork.com, and you can hire outsourcers for this kind of stuff. So once you get this process down, it's very easy to outsource the whole entire process once you know what you're doing. So, you're welcome. Over here.
Hi, Josh. Sorry.
Oh,
you know,
please.
with your video production, if you're, say, for instance, in some of the videos, I see there's a lot of music, different stuff going on. Do you need a license for music, you know, like to add?
You know what? I think I know Facebook, obviously, you got to be careful. If you go to a website called audioblocks.com, that's got some good royalty music. I think you pay like, I think it's like $80 a year or something like that, and you can get some royalty-free music. Also, to add to that, a lot of people will do intros to their videos. You'll notice that I really don't do any of that. I focus on what I'm good at, which is ranking videos, not a lot of the post or pre-production kind of stuff, right? Because I want to create those nets. I want to get traffic, right? And what a lot of people do is they get caught up in the perfection of the overall video. So what a lot of people do is they'll have intros, and the intros will be like 8 to 10 seconds, which is way too long, and they'll actually lose viewers from that. So the more simple, to the point, give the viewer what they want, move into some content, build that know, like, and trust, that authoritative positioning quickly, and then close them by getting them to click the link in the description.
Awesome, cheers.
In terms of getting comfortable in front of the camera, are there tips and tricks that you can give us, or is it just a case of practicing?
It's just practicing. It's just getting out there and it's doing it, right? That's the best way that I learned. What I did is I modeled off of John for quite a bit because we were in the same niche. Find somebody else that's in your niche, model off of them, and then eventually you can take their formula, take their knowledge, take it a step further and make it better, and eventually create your own. So that's probably the best advice that I would give you. But at the end of the day, it's just taking that leap of faith and just shooting those videos, and one day you kind of get used to it. So.
Hi. So it's a more specific question. You just said stay away from things like social book.
Oh, here we go. Awesome. Those lights.
Specific question. You said stay away from things like social bookmark. Could you specifically direct us to one or two places
what a
that
social
might be
bookmark
good?
is? Yeah, like social bookmark would be like delicious. It's basically a social bookmark. It's when there's these social bookmarking sites where you can save a link or basically favorite something that you found online that you like. So if you found a cool, cat video, right, on Facebook and you wanted to save it, you can save it through these other bookmarking sites, such as like delicious.com, I think it's delicious.co, dig.com, and sites like that. So it is healthy to have some social bookmarks created for your videos to show that, hey, your video is getting viewed, it's getting watched, it's getting shared. Google and YouTube like to see that. So again, you want to be careful though, depending on what social bookmarking site it is. There's a lot of services out there that will just send, crap bookmarks from some random foreign language, and you want to be careful with that, spam. So again, look at the reviews at those websites to find out what works best. Does that answer your question? No? No?
You were talking about video length over here, if you can't see me.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about the length of video and kind of 2 minutes being the sweet spot, but then Normally they're between 2 and 4 minutes. Obviously with Kino Body and a few of other people, obviously are doing videos that are much longer than that. So kind of, is it 2 or 4 minutes for direct traffic generation videos, and then you create longer form content that's of more value for?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it's just for traffic generation, 2 to 4 videos, and then, you know, value-based content, you can make it longer. As long as it's engaging, people watch 50, 60 minutes, you know, over an hour. So, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure we get them to our website. So you can either do it through brand building. That takes some time. Yes, that does work. Get a lot of subscribers and then sell them. You know, give, ask. Or you can use SEO strategies like I've used to get them straight into our funnel and then provide value there and then sell through email too as well. So, thanks.
Hello. Hello.
Yep, I can see you. I can see now.
Yeah, I was just wondering, with the on-page optimization, would you recommend getting the video transcribed and then putting it in the description?
I've actually done that before, and that can also work as well. Yeah, you can do that.
Would you recommend doing it now?
I don't do that because I don't want YouTube to see it as duplicate content. Again, I haven't really tested it much, so that's something that you can test. It might save you time. Typically, I'll just have it summarized and put in there. But I have tested that out on a few videos, but there was very little competition, and it did work. So definitely something that can be tested, but
okay, thank you.
Look out for it. Back here.
Thank you.
I think we have enough time for like 1 or 2 more questions. Yep.
Hi, would you recommend to create playlists or avoid them?
Definitely, yeah, playlists. So if you have themed playlists, that's something I should have mentioned, then that works really effectively, especially let's say you have a playlist that's on weight loss or intermittent fasting, you can actually rank for that playlist. So the more interlinking you have to each of your videos, maybe a related video, depending on what topic it is, that definitely helps with your rankings too as well. Another thing is what you can do is after your video is uploaded, you can take the link of your video, which is to the side of the video. I'll click that link. It'll open up a new page with the link. I'll take that link and copy it and put it at the end of the description, and I'll put my title in all over again, and what that does is it gives me my own backlink from the same video. So you can link to your same video, other social networking sites, and to other videos like a playlist. So I think we got time for one more.
Yeah.
Right here.
Hi, is this also working with high-ticket affiliate marketing?
It sure does. Yep, that's actually where I've made a lot of my money. So it works amazingly well with high ticket, especially if you're targeting people in the affiliate marketing niche. Works really well.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, no problem. Cool, awesome. Great, guys. Hopefully you got tons of value from it. I know I covered a lot, but I appreciate you guys, and hope to see you soon.
Awesome. Good stuff, brother. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother.
Rockstar. Give him a hand, Josh.
Thanks, guys.
All right, was that good? Was that helpful? Yeah, you guys like that? Awesome.